What's up, everybody? This is Saber, and I have returned. I have moved. My computer is set back up. Everything is running well and okay, except for the Mushroom Fleet server, but we'll get to that later. So, yeah, I'm back, and I have officially hit 100 videos. I didn't realize I was going to hit 100. I thought I was going to be at 99, but that's okay. So this Q&A, which is what this video will just be to celebrate having reached 100, and will not actually be my 100th video, which I'm not terribly picky about. So yeah, I'm totally okay with that. Just wanted to say thanks, first of all, for everybody that's been sticking through with me to from the start for all the 100 videos and the just over a year. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the questions. So I will have some sort of a graphic down below. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but maybe it'll just be the questions that pop up. We'll see how lazy I am later tonight. But so I'm just going to jump straight into questions. Now, the first few are going to be general questions, and then the rest of them are all going to be questions that are asked directly by other people. And so I will list their names as well, so that way you guys can see who is asking the really important or really not important, like Raven, questions. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump straight into it. So everybody's been asking for months and months and months and months and months and months. Has it really been that long? Okay, well, a while. Anyway, when will you do ship reviews or more ship reviews or ship reviews, please? Oh my God, Saber, get us ship reviews, please, for the love of God. I'm dying. We need ship reviews. Apparently, you're going a little Austrian there. The answer to that question is there will be more ship reviews soon, and I realize I've said that a lot. But now that I'm set up and I have a full-time job again, and everything is going smoothly, and I have a set schedule, then yeah, I'll be able to do that again, because I'll be able to work on videos pretty much every day or every couple days. So I should be doing ship reviews soon. I'm going to try and make it weekly. My plan for the past like month or two has been to make it a weekly thing. So like maybe on Sunday I'll have them, and so that will be that sort of a thing. So that is when it will be soon. Hopefully maybe this week. Don't hold me to that though, because I'm still unpacking a lot of stuff. So definitely by next week. So you can hold me to that one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. The next one was actually a really good and pertinent question. Will you have a more formal system for submitting ship reviews? And that's actually a good question, because there really isn't a formal way to do it, because I prefer to take them directly from the Starmade website, because that way if people see them on my channel, then other people, or the people that see those ships, will be able to go to the website and download them from there. It won't be like from Mediafire or anything crazy like that. It'll just be straight from a trusted source, and they'll be able to see pictures, whatever, comment on it, rate, whatever the whole system is over there now. So I think what I'll do is I'll just set up kind of a procedure video where I'll walk you through how to save your ship, how to upload your ship, and then how to, well, basically from that point you just send the link to me, and then it'll probably be through my YouTube inbox or maybe my Starmade account. I don't know, one of those. But so I will make a video for that, so that way there is a more structured way of getting me ship reviews, so people aren't sending me review links in every other video like I just had somebody do. I don't know who it was, but that's fine, because I know it's been tough to get it to me, but I'll work something like that out. Okay, next question is, will there be a Starmade versus Minecraft episode 2? I think this might have been Kai Computer. I don't remember who asked this one, but I'm just counting it as general. So I will probably work it, to be totally honest with you, into a cameo for one of the series that is planned or might currently be going on, which I don't know if this is a later question or not, but again, because I'm set up now and with a set schedule, the Dawn of the Empire will be a much more regular thing, so don't fret about that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the viewer questions directly asked from you guys. So the first one is from I'm Jeffafa, who asks me, what is my favorite build, or sorry, what's your favorite ship you built, and your favorite ship from any movie / TV series / book, etc. Now, before I answer that one, I'm going to go ahead and read the next one, because they're related. So the next one is from Brave Steel Dragon, who asks, what was the ship in any movie, TV series, or game that had you jaw dropped? See if I put these together. So, as far as Jeffa's question, my favorite ship that I've ever built, and I know it's like a cliche for me at least, would be, it's a toss-up. It's either the RLS Legacy, which I know everybody's like, oh my god, it's like the one ship you ever built, which is true. It's either the Legacy or my second ever ship, which was the Aqualai. And part of that's nostalgia, and part of it's just because I really, really enjoyed that ship. It had a really good flow about it, and I had a lot of good times in single player just exploring the universe in that ship. I'd like park it up in orbit and then take my crappy first ever ship that was like a shuttle sort of thing, multi-purpose, no hull even, down to the planet surface. Then I'd come back up to the ship. Anyway, as far as a movie, TV series, or game, or book, I can't pick one. So I talked with Raven, who I hope most of you know. Raven, if you don't, go to his channel, subscribe now, because he's good. Also, he has a new mic, so he has a deeper his voice sounds deeper now. It is deep, but now it sounds like it should. Anyway, Raven and I are going to be doing a countdown video. One of them will be on my channel. The other one will be on his channel. Now, the one on mine is going to be our favorite ships from any movie, TV series, book, or game. And then the one on his channel is going to be both of our favorite ships from Starmade. So obviously I've seen a lot of ships, so that's going to be an interesting list to complete. So yeah, be sure and stay tuned for that. I don't know when it'll be happening, hopefully fairly soon, but yeah, no deadline on that yet. So those will be answered later on. But as far as my favorite ship I built, the Legacy or the Aqualai, which I don't know if you guys have seen the Aqualai. If you haven't, let me know and I'll do a video on it or something. I don't know. Okay, next question is from Tombolf. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And they ask, which countries did you visit? What country do you want to visit? What do you know about Belgium? Sorry for bad English. Don't be worried about English, because that's not bad, especially because I'm guessing English isn't your first language, and it's a really difficult language, so no worries. I have only been to Ireland so far, but I want to go so many other places. I would like to go, first of all, back to Ireland, to Britain, Scotland, Norway, Germany, Austria, Italy, Switzerland, Japan, all over Europe. Really a lot of places, mostly Europe, and probably Japan, maybe China. I don't know. There's a lot of cool history over there, but mostly those places. Russia would be cool too. So basically Europe and Asia. Not a lot of Asia, just a little bit of Asia, but it's huge. So, but yeah, those are the places I've been and the places that I want to go. I know virtually nothing about Belgium, except you guys make good waffles. And by that, I mean that's the stereotype, so sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of chalk that one up to that. I love doing traveling, so I want to do a ton more and see where I end up in the world. But yeah, we'll find out what happens down the road in years and years. Okay, the next question is by D-Texas. I don't know if it's supposed to be Texas or D-Tex-S04. I'll chalk it up that way. Who I have seen you around forever, man. You've got to be like one of the first few, at least, subscribers. Yeah, you leave a lot of comments, and I really do appreciate that, because you, sir, are awesome. Okay, so not that the rest of you aren't awesome. You're all awesome, because you've stuck with me, and you ask questions, and you comment, which is awesome. So everybody and everything is awesome. Anyway, D-Tex asks, what do you hope to see in Starmade? Now, that is a good question, because it's a lot of things. One thing I'm really looking forward to is the crafting system, which is currently being worked on, as far as I understand it. And I think that's going to change things a lot. But I would also really love to see a planetary start. Because, I mean, it's cool that you start the game very first time ever is out in the void of space next to a shop. But then you have your core, and then that's it. But I would really like to see, and obviously this would come with a lot of playtesting. This isn't definitive what will make this game good, because Saber said so. No. I'd love to see cores actually be more rare or harder to obtain, because then it would give more value to a ship, I guess, in one sense, but also it would help people work together more, which kind of leads into my next point. Is I would love to see a lot more community building and sharing features, I guess. Not necessarily like, I'm not talking like social media aspects. I mean like things that will make it easier for or make people want to work together more often. Because one of the things that I was talking to Dalmon about, which is in one of my previous videos, would be if when you log off, if you're on a ship and like you're just, let's say, in the Gravity or part of that crew, then wherever you log off in the ship is where you will spawn back in, no matter where the ship goes, which would be tough to do, I think. I'm not sure how Schema or the other devs would do it, but I know there's got to be a way. I'm not a coder, so I don't know for sure. I'm just kind of an idea guy, sort of. But I would love to be able to see that, because then people would actually be willing to be part of crews, because it wouldn't just be like, oh, well, I was part of a crew for a day and now the ship's gone and I'll never see him again. You know, it would be more of a continuation sort of thing. So that'd be really cool, because with as much creativity as in this game, I understand that, I mean, I'm kind of one of these people. I am not the best shipbuilder, but I do really enjoy working on like planets. So I would like working with other people on planets, but you know, like I know people like Dalmont are way better at building ships. So I could let him do that, and I could work on a planetary base. And then, you know, I mean, obviously we have factions, but I think there's a few more things that could be added that would help the game progress even further as far as teamwork kind of goes. Also, survival, a little more focus on survival, which I know that's going to be coming eventually. We're still in alpha, so I'm not nitpicking and saying things are bad. I'm just saying that these are features that I would like to see. So, little disclaimer there, but let's go ahead and go on to the next question. Okay, I have a slight correction. I actually just found out about this, so I had already recorded all of that for D-Texas question there just a second ago, but I just found out that Schema, who just posted a comment on one of my videos, has told me that spawning on ships is definitely planned and will be implemented. So disregard the whole rant there that I had, but I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know, and so then we can go ahead and get back on to the rest of the questions so that everything is correct and in standing order. Like I said before, this is alpha. Obviously things are going to change. Things are planned, I know this, but just wanted to make that quick correction, so let's go ahead and keep going. Okay, the next question is by Creative Guy 8885, and he asks, why did you start doing YouTube? I started because I was seeing a lot of really cool stuff. I think it was on the Starmade Reddit long time ago, and some of them were just pictures, and then some of them were videos, and I decided that I wanted to, I built the RLS Legacy, which is as one-to-one as I can possibly get for the main ship from Treasure Planet, in case nobody knows. So I wanted to really show that off, and it was really well received, so I kind of started making content on how I built ships, and then I started seeing some of the really creative stuff that people were doing, and I decided that I didn't build that much, but I was seeing all this great stuff, and I knew they weren't really getting exposure for it. Like, they weren't really getting the word out on their ships, so I wanted to kind of start reviewing them and making more people known of what great ships are out there. So I started doing the reviews, and those just exploded my channel. So that's pretty much the only reason that my channel is as big as it is, was really good timing, a fair amount of luck, and then reviews. That's what really all led me to where I'm at now. So I started doing it because I wanted to have fun and show off creativity, and I'm still trying to do that. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it to be famous. I just want to, have fun and show off what people can do in this game. And then as it's gone on, I've found out that more people are finding me entertaining, I guess is the way to put it. And so that's why I've started playing like other games, and now I'm trying to bring exposure to other games and things like that. And so it's kind of snowballing a little bit as far as like where I want it to go, not necessarily in like subscriber count, but I'm not as worried about that. I just want to make cool stuff for you guys, and as long as you guys enjoy it, I'll keep doing it, and as long as it's possible. Anyway, so that's why I did it. I did it for you, Creative Guy 8885, and for everybody else that asks questions, and for everybody else that's watching. So it's for you guys. All right, next question. Captain Enderman, what are your computer specs? Now, I think you guys have asked this before, and I'm just not that computer savvy, so I apologize if I missed something or whatever. Like, I don't know components in computers very well. I just use them a lot. So what I have is a it's a tiny little thing. So I'm not even going to throw out like, oh, it's an Alienware, because it's not. It's called a shuttle, but it has an Intel Core i7 CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 64-bit, and it has a NVIDIA GTX 560. Now, if you would like to know more, you can send me a message, because if you're looking for something specific, just ask me directly, because I don't know what all you're looking for. So yeah, that's what I got. And next question. Raven EFSF, the son of a gun. He asks me the ever pertinent question: why do you hide your identity as a pretty pony princess? Well, Raven, it's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. And I know that's cheesy and corny, but you asked a dumb question, so I gave you a dumb answer, so you can deal with it. And for anyone that doesn't know, Raven and I know each other quite well from the Mushroom Fleet server. Us and then a few others have like this crazy weird brotherhood going on, where it's like, it really is almost like brothers, because we're all jerks to each other, but then it's like, oh, we have so much fun, and it's cute and adorable and whatever, and yeah, it's fun. So yeah, Raven, there's your answer. Also, because if I revealed my identity as a pretty pony princess, then it would bring ruin and disaster to the pretty pony kingdom, so I can't let that happen. I'm sorry. Okay, so the next question is from Chris W., and they asked, have you ever or do you have plans to meet up with some of the guys from the Mushroom Fleet server in real life? And the answer to that is yes. Hopefully this game continues to grow and hits a huge growth spurt if we're lucky. Once it launches, we'll get good publicity and all that stuff for it. And so we're hoping that it gets big enough that we could have some sort of a convention, like almost, I guess you could think like Minecon for Minecraft, but I really doubt that it will get to that scale, at least initially. But we would love to have like a StarCon eventually. And so we could have all of us kind of YouTubers, as we have come to be called, or like big names in the Starmade community, all gather together. And so we'd actually like to be able to meet, hang out, and then, spend time with, all the people that are playing the game and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So yes, we have talked about it. There's nothing solid planned, just kind of, wishes and dreams. So we'll see where all that goes, but definitely hoping that something like that can happen in the future. Next question is by Kekaland Finbomber, something like that. And they asked, how difficult is it to make the ship review videos? Which is a great question, because nobody ever really considers that, or seems to at least. They just demand more videos, and that's what got me burnt out on it. Well, it wasn't just that. The videos aren't that difficult to do. It's just that there's a lot of setup that goes into it, and a lot of post-production work that goes into it. And so it's just really time-consuming. And that's really what got me burnt out on it. So, I haven't done any for months. But now that I'm moved and set back up, and I'm still getting stuff unpacked, so I'm not quite ready to do them yet. But hopefully, no guarantees, but hopefully by like next Sunday, because I want to make it like a weekly thing. Hopefully by next Sunday, I'm able to jam one out. But I do actually have a even more interesting idea, which I will be bringing out in a video probably in the next couple of days. So it's going to be a short-term thing, but I will be continuing to do the videos, as I mentioned before. But yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it, so it's really time-consuming and labor-intensive, but not that particularly difficult. But great question, and thank you for considering that and asking that. Okay, next question is from Joseph Pittman. And they ask, how do you have the patience to make these massive ships? Which is actually a misconception, because I don't really make any massive ships. The biggest ship that I have ever made, I'm still working on, which is the Lionheart. And so I don't really have to worry that much about making big ships. I spend a lot of time on like planets and stations. But for myself, as far as the Lionheart goes, if you're doing something really big or complicated, I guess would be even more pertinent. The thing that I like to do is break it up into sections and stages, where I'll kind of bounce around the ship from here to there, work on different sections at a time, engines, the cockpit, whatever. The exterior first is usually what I try to do. It depends on the size of the build. But and then I do stages where I'll do the general design and then smoothing, maybe a little bit refining of the shape, and then I start doing details at the very end. So a lot of what really helps me out to do with that is just to kind of keep it broken up, and then it keeps it fresh. You don't really get burnt out on it by doing one thing all the time. Okay, next question is from Mortena007, and they ask, do you play War Thunder? And if you do, what do you think of the tanks in game right now, or at least last time you were on? It's been a while since I've been on, but I really enjoyed the tanks in the game right now because it really changes it up, especially from an aerial perspective, because now you actually have to worry about people gunning for you from the ground, or giving yourself even more interesting targets on the ground. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. I'm really looking forward to having all three of the branches together, including the Navy, with the tanks and the air all in one battle at the same time. It's going to make for some really cool stuff. Okay, DeathToad88 asks, boxers or briefs? I'm going to go ahead and keep that a really short answer and say neither, so have fun figuring that one out. Alright, Bob Joe asks, what are your future plans for series/games that you will play? I'm planning at least one more series for Starmade. I'm going to be continuing Dawn of the Empire, so nobody freak out. That's still going to be going on. I wouldn't mind doing Starbound again, but I'd also really like to do at least one survival game that's different than Starmade or Starbound or other stuff, like more like a Daisy or maybe 7 Days to Die. I don't know. I'll probably end up getting that game. Maybe also a Kerbal game, Kerbal series if I get that game, which I'm still considering, but we'll see about that. I would, however, really like to do a wider variety of games for a series, and now that I have more time and I'm settled in, and I know I'm a broken record with that, but now that I have all that, then I'll be able to do that kind of stuff. Okay, Tim Harv asks, what is your favorite weapon in Starmade and why? What is your favorite thing about Starmade? I haven't used many of the new weapons, but currently it's swarm missiles, just because it looks so freaking cool. Because it's not really a really strong weapon, it's just a really imposing weapon. I've got one small ship that every time I fire all the swarm missiles, people just go, whoa. But the missiles are super weak. They do like 1 or 2 damage. That's not much at all. My favorite thing about Starmade, though, is the variety and the creativity that's in the content. I've seen everything from space ducks and space cows to cathedrals on planets. People are making games within this game. We've got, I did racing. We've got Tom has made all sorts of crazy stuff. We've had like a space baseball going on one day. That was interesting. We have shooter arenas. We have the Thunderdome, the Lightning Sphere, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So just the variety and the full range of things that people are able to do with this game is what I really love about it. Okay, the next question is from, I believe it's pronounced Lamerdan? Sorry if I mispronounced that. I know I've seen you around a bunch. I've just never really had to say your name. So anyway, he asks, have you ever tried Y-holes? My response to that is not even once. So there you go. St. Grievous asks, would you or anyone from the Mushroom Fleet build a 1-to-1 Death Star or review one that actually looks like it from the movies? I think Tom made one day, but it didn't have an interior, so that would be a big undertaking. I don't know. I don't think anybody has made one that's like full size and has an interior, so I doubt it's going to end up happening. But if somebody actually manages that, sure, I'll check it out. Alright, Bench Minecraft, who I've worked with in the past, and also made the first official Starmade trailer, in case you guys didn't know that, he decided to ask me, what would be your favorite video I've ever made? And that is a hard choice, which I think anybody who's made content would kind of understand, because at least for me, it's hard to pick just one. I think as far as editing goes, one of my favorites was doing the Thunderdome promo, because some of the transitions that I got in that are still to date some of my favorite transitions, just because there were some things on that server that made really cool transitions possible, just because of how, or some of the things that people had done. Um, as far as just content, I think probably one of my favorites is actually one of my videos from before I was even doing this channel, which I think I'm gonna do a Saber Legacy re-upload on, and it was actually a DayZ video where we a friend of mine and I were in a SUV, and we were driving some random guy that we found and picked up around, and we ended up jumping a bus and hit the top of the bus. The tires blew out. We landed, the thing exploded, but we got out just in time, except for the random guy that we picked up. He ended up dying. But it may not sound like much, but the way that it all got put together and just the guys that I was with made it such a hilarious and entertaining video that I still watch from time to time and just have a good chuckle, because it's, I don't know, I really enjoy that kind of content. So that's kind of stuff that I want to get back into, is doing, little stuff like that where it's really quality content, even if it is a short video, rather than, full length reviews and stuff like that. But like I said, I want to do basically all of it now that I'm back and set up and running. So yeah, excellent question. It's like I said, it's hard to pick one, and I mean I've got a bunch more running through my head, but for now I'll just leave it at that. I guess you guys will have to decide. Maybe somebody will have a vote on what everybody else's favorite video is, because I don't know, I have too much trouble just trying to pick out one. Thanks though, Bench. Okay, so Diabrion, I believe is how that's pronounced, asks me, what is the largest ship you have ever built in Starmade? Which is a simple answer. It's the Lionheart, which I am still working on, and it's going to be the biggest thing I've ever made, and it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for more of that. Alright, next up is Zraman? Something like that. And they ask, what started you on space games / building games like Starmade? For building games, it was Minecraft, not Starmade, Minecraft. For space games, it was TIE Fighter, which was an old Windows 95 game, something like that. And it was a space flight simulator where you were a part of the Empire and you flew around TIE Fighters, and it was amazing. It was hands down my favorite space dogfighting simulator of all time. It's still nothing has topped it. So that's how I got into space games. As far as space building games, it was Starmade, and I got into them because of the Augscast. But I tried it out and fell in love with it, and so I've stuck with it ever since. I've played Space Engineers, and I still do every once in a while, but I'll get into more of that later. But yeah, Starmade is still, what kind of started it all for me. Dim Creeper asks, how was your day? It was good. It's Friday today. I've had some computer issues. For example, I actually had to re-record 2/3 of these questions, which I'm currently doing right now. Hopefully my file doesn't get corrupted again. But yeah, other than that, it's Friday. It has been a great day. I've been training for my new job, and so the first week of that is under my belt. It was a little crazy at first, but I'm feeling much better about it now. So it has been a good day. I woke up and there was a roof over my head. I had electricity and running water. So pretty much any time that I wake up in those conditions, it's a good day. Plus the internet, which I'm sad to say I'm a little dependent on now. But it happens. It's just so useful. Anyway, yeah, been a great day, and looking forward to tomorrow, because it's going to be another good day. So just got to take it one day at a time. Life lessons. All right, Sprocket911 asks me, what do you think of other games apart from Starmade? Have you ever thought about doing more review content like Saber Spotlights? I love other games. In fact, the last question that I will do today is going to be all about all the different kinds of games that I like to play, because I like to play a lot of different stuff. And that's actually what got me into doing Saber Spotlights, because I like doing such a, not really a strange variety, just a really wide variety that I wanted to be able to use that interest to help further and expose really cool kind of indie games. And I've been trying to do that, but it's just been really slow. But I definitely want to pick up the pace on that and do even more Saber Spotlights videos. And if people really like them, then continue to do series on whichever games they really like. So hopefully it'll kind of snowball from there. All right, Cam asks, will you review / play Space Engineers? Well, I do play Space Engineers. Not a lot, but I do jump into it from time to time. Check out some of the new stuff, see how that's going. And I don't think I will ever review it, but I will do a video on kind of comparing and contrasting Space Engineers and Starmade, because there's kind of a stigma between the two, and there really doesn't need to be, because as the games have continued to progress, and as they progress even further, they will diverge, I think, a lot more than they even are already. And so they're going to be two different games, so everybody's kind of freaking out because they're all really, well, somewhat similar, but they're not as similar as they really think. So definitely going to be doing a video on that, but as far as a review, probably not. Okay, so Cohen, who I believe I pronounced that right, also known as Feldo, asked me, what is the most memorable game you have ever played? The most memorable game I've ever played is Final Fantasy VIII, which is hands down my favorite game of all time. Now, a lot of people, at least Final Fantasy fans, don't like Final Fantasy VIII. They prefer 7, some prefer 9. A lot of people have played 10. Final Fantasy VIII for me was kind of it. I'm trying to think how to word this. It was present when I was going through a really difficult time as a teenager. You know, just kind of growing up, figuring out who I was. I mean, I think everybody has one thing that kind of was with them as they went through their teenage phase, whatever you want to call it. For me, that was Final Fantasy VIII. So, not just with what I think is an incredible story in the game. There's just a lot that I really love about the game, other than just nostalgia stuff. But for me, that is hands down the most memorable one. A close runner-up is the Jak and Daxter series, which is a lot less heavy, but I don't want to say a lot more fun. It's fun in a different way, but it's really close runner-up for me. It's my favorite game series because it's an amazing trilogy, and I really loved it. So thanks for the good question. Okay, so StreetFX asks, when did you start playing Starmade? What were your first impressions, your first builds like, etc.? And can you at least give your first name, please? Well, I started playing Starmade about 1.5 years ago, because I started a few months after that actually doing Starmade videos. My first impressions were that I loved it. It was difficult for me at first because I didn't really understand a lot of it, and so I was kind of figuring out as I went, and I was not very good against pirates, not pilots, pirates. So a lot of times I would either cower on a planet or run. Then I figured out how to make turrets, and I had a very nice reconstruction or refitting of a default station, so then I never had to worry about pirates again, and then I just focused on building, which got me even more into Starmade as far as doing, well, both doing YouTube content and just being more into Starmade. Anyway, my first build was awful because it was a starter ship, as I think pretty much everybody's first starter ship was pretty awful. Maybe not everybody's, but pretty much everybody's. My second ship, though, I loved because it was actually built for my first ship, but it was basically just to carry it around. It was, I don't know, it was really good. I loved it. A lot of nostalgia with that game, or not game, with that ship, that second ship. Lots of good times. And as far as my name, no. Next question is XK Cobra, who asks, when will you be streaming again? Soon. I'm actually still getting settled in, still unpacking stuff, but I have a consistent schedule, so pretty soon. Maybe a little bit tomorrow for Raven's stream. We'll see. I don't know about that one for sure. But yes, soon I'll start streaming again. It will probably coincide with the review, or the reviews that I start doing, so around the time that those are coming out, I'll be streaming again. Dak1096 asks, would you build a Star Wars Republic cruiser? And to you, Dak, I say no. Next up is Ortzak, who asked me, what would you say got you into Starmade? What do you like about it over other games of the space or builder genre? Well, what got me into Starmade was the Yogscast, as it did with a lot of people. Some people kind of grumble about them now, but I mean, they got great exposure out for the game, so I'm totally happy about that. What do I like about it over other space games? The building, because there aren't many other space games that do it like Starmade does. I love space sims, but yeah, I do love the building of Starmade. As far as over other builder games, it's got to be the expansive, virtually limitless, well, not only limitless universe, but also There's virtually no limits on the creativity of people either. Like I said, I've seen space ducks and space cows flying around, so you can see all sorts of crazy stuff in the game. So being able to do all that within one game is really something special. Okay, so next up is Mendoza0001. And Mendoza asks, how old are you? And do you have a relationship? Which is an interesting way to word it. I am about 12 and a half years old. Okay, that's a lie. I'm actually, I'm almost 25. And do I have a relationship? No. If I hadn't moved back from the West Coast back to the Midwest, yeah, I would have a relationship. There was somebody pretty amazing out there who I was totally ready to date, and would have been if it wouldn't have been for leaving in a matter of weeks. But sometimes that happens. So not to get too real with you guys, but yeah, I mean, life throws you curves, and you just gotta roll with the punches. How many cliche stereotype lines can I throw in here? I guess the one thing that I would try and give advice on is, if there is something happening in your life that is beyond your control, do your best to not worry about it, because worrying is just going to waste energy and make you feel worse about whatever situation it is. If there's nothing you can do about it, then there's no need to worry about it. So at least that's my philosophy, kind of. I have kind of a laid back, relaxed attitude, I guess. Not aloof, as someone was told me, actually means not chill and relaxed. But anyway, yeah, so that was me giving a little life spiel. But thanks for the interesting question. All right, the next question is from Lobstrex, who asks, do you have any plans to expand your channel into other games? I'd love to see you play PlanetSide 2. Well, I have been trying to expand my channel a little bit, like by doing the Saber spotlights and stuff. I've been kind of avoiding really big games like PlanetSide 2 because I wasn't sure if people wanted to see me play those. Funny story though, I used to play PS2 all the time. I was a NC Reaver pilot for life, air to ground, just shooting rockets all up in people's faces. So I mean, if you guys are interested in that, I could try to get back into it. I don't know, I just kind of stopped playing it a long time ago, so there's new stuff and things, and I don't even know what all crazy stuff is going on now. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to keep playing other games. I mean, I'm always open to suggestions. If people want me to play other games, just say so. Say specific games if you want, and I definitely try them out. Okay, up next is Sprightly T, which is a very amusing name. Sprightly T asks, what games do you like besides Starmade? Okay, I like a lot of games other than Starmade. I like all sorts of games. In fact, I like so many types of games that I'm not going to give you specific games, because I like flying games, I like survival games, I like space games, I like building games, I like adventure games, I like RPGs, I like some MMOs. I like a very broad range of games. So to say one specific game is not going to happen, or even a few, because I'm always up for trying new and interesting stuff, not necessarily just what's big and what's out and what's hip and what's happening and what's cool. And I'm sounding like an old man now. Anyway, yeah, I do like a bunch of different stuff. So because I like such a broad range, it's hard to pick down just a few things. So yeah, I mean, I like to bounce around between stuff. So those are the games that I like besides Starmade, is a lot of them. Thanks for the good question, though. Okay, so thanks a lot, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed doing this for you. So I had a lot of fun seeing what kind of stuff you guys came up with, and hopefully I answered them to your satisfaction. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening, mostly listening. If you enjoyed this, then I guess check out some of my other stuff. And if you enjoyed that, then you can go ahead and subscribe, because I make a lot of stuff like that, not a lot of stuff like this. But anyway, yeah, thanks again, and hope you all have a good night. I'll catch you guys later.